Exercise 7. I love this exercise so much, and this is another one that is specifically designed to help you release or get the swallowing muscles to relax. Also, a really, really great tip. People ask me at times, well, what can I use sometimes when I can't do a really full warm up, or I've got to go on and speak, or I've got to sing, and I'm not able to warm up. This is a great little trick, because if you just did this exercise over and over again, sometimes because you can do it so quietly, sometimes you can just you can just hum it, which is what I have you doing with it a lot, and you'll start to get the warm up that we want. Because what happens is, to do this effectively, number one, we don't want the swallowing muscles to come down at all. And for you to accomplish that, your vocal cords have to come together, so to speak, to make a nice clean connection. And the only way they can do that is if your larynx or your voice box isn't moving around too much, or moving down, or being pushed up. So that's why this one is so great. Now, when I talk about making a clean connection, you'll relate this to some of the issues you may have had with your own voice. When you create sound, your vocal cords come together. Ah, a clean sound is the cords coming together. And it also means that there isn't any inflammation on the cords. A lot of times when you've been hoarse, or if you've experienced that, or you've lost your voice or whatever, it's because the vocal cords have been maybe rubbing together, is a good way to think of it, in an unnatural way that has caused inflammation. And that's why they're not able to come together. And you're getting this air passing through instead of the air making a nice clean connection around the cords to create that sound. So again, nodules, which you've probably heard about, which are growths on the vocal cords, or polyps, all of those things are a result of some sort of improper technique that's been going on for a while. So this exercise will really help to start to correct those issues, those habits that you may have had, and get you to creating sound in a much easier, freer way. So let me do a little bit of this. Your thumbs under here. You may need to really exaggerate it to keep it up here. Chords are staying together. I'm going in a different part of my range, but it's still staying together. And what I mean by that is that if you find yourself starting to split apart, there, number one, you'll feel the swallowing muscles coming down, and the sound will disconnect. You need to either go back, try to do it softer, easier, use less sound or less air to try and get the chord. We're trying to get it to move over where the chords are staying together. The wonderful thing about this is that you will feel instantly after you've done it that, number one, you may experience even your speaking voice being in a little different place, because what you've done is you've given your body this freedom to create the sound, and so you may experience that going on. The other thing that will happen is that when you go to sing something, you'll see that there's the same thing. There's much more freedom and control. And when I say freedom and control, it sounds weird, but they work together. What you will come to understand, and again, you may not get this completely right away, but once you start to gain the freedom in your body in terms of the way that you're creating sound, you will have the control that you've always wanted. Most people think that their control is about trying to force things and push it and all of that. And when you do that, more and more muscles that should not be working get in the way. What we're attempting to create here is complete freedom in the way that you're creating your sound. Alrighty, so work with this one. And again, this is one that I would advise you to do over and over again until you can get to a place where you're really experiencing the freedom and that you're able to connect, keep much more of your range connected as high as you can. Okay, go to it.